Hey everybody, Mark from Northeast Bastion. How you guys doing? Well, I'm going to start adding some baits and some videos, I should say, to my bait and focus series because I haven't done that in a while. And now as winter approaches and I don't get that chance to fish as much, it's a good time for me to go through all my stuff, do inventory, get things organized, sharpen hooks, throw away stuff that's no good anymore, change some hooks out. But there's still those small opportunities here and there to go fishing because the weather is still fishable. I'll go out to the bitter end. I mean, I didn't get out this week, but I'm planning to go out next week. Um, this week, the wind was just ridiculous, and I don't mind if it's cold. I don't even mind if it's raining. But when it's real windy and also raining, usually we'll say, yeah, maybe I'll take a take a pass. But I'm kind of going through the baits that I like to throw, and what is, I don't want to say what's easy, but what makes it simpler this time of year is I really narrow things down in the fall and early winter, as that water gets colder, on really what I need. I don't need to bring as much, like when I'm packing tons of stuff in the boat in the summertime. I don't really need that many different things here in the late fall, early winter fishing time. So one of the baits that I really haven't spoken about, I just checked. I've never even done a bait and focus on it. I know I've spoken about it here and there when I've bought some, but I don't think I've ever really dedicated one video just to it. And this is a classic bait that's kind of in a souped up mode here. And that's just a rooster tail. And this is the one that I use is this Joe Thomas rooster tail. It comes in a half-ounce size and a three-quarter-ounce size. And I've done very, very well with this bait, especially in the spring and especially in the fall. I don't really throw it that much in the summer, even though it probably would work. I just seem to get away from it. Then I'm throwing chatter baits and spinner baits. But as this water gets cold, and I really like this three-quarter-ounce size because I can chuck it a mile. I can get it a little deeper, and it works pretty well. It works pretty well, and people have been catching fish on rooster tails for years, longer than I've been fishing, that's for sure, or probably been alive. But they have 8 colors. As I said, a half-ounce size and a three-quarter-ounce size. Either size is fine. I tend to start with that three-quarter-ounce size because, like I said, I can throw it up, cover a lot of water. I can chuck it a mile, and just a slow, steady retrieve, and you can get some hellacious hits on it. So I'm going to go through the different colors they have and show you the bait up close and how I add a couple things to it just so you can keep your line twists under wraps. So the first color is black, and what I do is, like, whenever I've used them, I take them out of these boxes. I'll put them in these little plastic bags just so they don't get rusty. And so the first color on their list, and I'm just taking a list off Tackle Warehouse. That's the only people I know that sell them. This is the one. This is black. And so as you can see, it comes with, like kind of like a hair skirt, and it has tinsel with it. Big treble hook, very sharp. That's the half-ounce size. So this is the one they call black. This is that color black. Oh man, that hook is sharp. So it's kind of black on, it's kind of black and silver, if you guys can see that. And the blade is a silver blade. It says Rooster Tail on it. Now what I add to it, I add these swivels to it here. You guys can see, I add those swivels to the end so you don't get, because you'll get a ton of line twist if you don't. So I just add these because they'll swivel around, and then I don't have to worry about that line twist. And then I just tie directly to this side here. But just connect the swivel to the end of the bait there. Just add one of those guys, and you're good to go. So I definitely recommend adding the swivel. Make your life a lot easier. If you don't care about line twists, but you throw this all day, you will see some line twist in your line. So that is what the setup. You've got the single blade. If you guys have never heard of a rooster tail before or ever thrown one before, pretty much most of the ones you'll see, the original ones were very small, like eighth of an ounce, even less. This has got a big, chunk here of which I assume is lead. Big treble hook, the tinsel, the hair. You got the single blade, which is bigger than most blades you'll see on an inline spinner or a rooster tail. And the only thing I add, which I highly recommend, is that swivel at the end. So before I'm going to throw these, usually what I've done, and as we go through them, I'll know better. Whenever I've kind of taken them out of the pack and know I'm going to throw them, I add one of these just in case I want to throw it. Because I really haven't lost any. The only thing I think I've lost maybe one, and that's only because I was slow rolling it in the bottom and it got hung up, and it broke and the line broke. But as far as I throw it on pretty heavy line. I haven't had any fish rip it off, even when toothy critters have gone after them. But that's the one. That's the black. So that's the half ounce. Let me see if I have the 3/4 ounce here. I think I do. Yeah, here's the 3/4 ounce in black I have in the bag here. And what I've been doing is I'll just take the box, because if you leave these on the boat, they get wet. They start to fall apart. So I just cut out the color so I don't forget what it is. Not that there's only 8, so once you've thrown it for a while, you kind of get the idea of which color is which. Then I'll just put it in these plastic bags. They won't get rusty. So here's the black in the 3/4 ounce. Now, I haven't thrown this one yet because it doesn't have a swivel on it. I'll know if I've thrown them because it'll have a swivel on it. This one does not, so I haven't thrown this yet. But here's that same color, that black. So here is the comparison. Here's the half ounce. Here's the half ounce. Well, it's not going to do you guys any good. I'm going to hold that up in the air. Here's the half ounce. And there's the 3/4. So you can see you got a thicker, body on there. But I do like the 3/4 just because I can chuck it a mile. Half ounce is fine too. They're both good. I've caught them on both. I'll tend to, especially if I'm fishing deeper, I'll go with the 3/4. If you're gonna fish shallower water, the half is fine. I mean, they're both good. I've caught them on both. It's really up to you. And like I said, I'll just take them and on these ones that I didn't have those tabs, I just kind of wrote half ounce black so I didn't forget. Pop it in there, and then when I take these out on the boat in the plastic bag, I don't have to worry about them getting wet and getting rusty. But there's that 3/4 ounce size if you guys like that 3/4 ounce. I like both. It's really personal preference. If I know I'm going to be fishing really, maybe a little deeper, I may go with that 3/4 to start. I usually tend to start with that and just cover water. And if they're not hitting it, I may go with the half and see if they like the half better. But there's black, so that's color 1 on the list. The second one is chrome white, which I believe I have in the bag here. There's chrome white in the half ounce. So here is chrome white. So it's the chrome body and a chrome, blade. This one I've used because it's got the swivel on it. So add your swivel, don't forget. And you've got a white, white hair skirt with some white, well, more of like a silver tinsel, I guess I'd call it. You've got your big treble hook there. And I've done really, really well with these, especially in the spring on smallmouth. I don't really think it's been as great. Not that it won't work for largies. I think I've done better on smallies with these, but it'll catch both. I just think I've done more, done better on the smallmouth. So there's the half ounce in the chrome white. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I have the 3/4 ounce. Yeah. So there's a 3/4 ounce, which obviously I haven't thrown yet because it's still in the pack. That's what the pack looks like. And I've only seen them. There may be other places. I've only seen them on Tackle Warehouse. So that's where I get them. They're like $9. So usually when there's a sale, I'll grab a couple just to keep the stock up in case I'm getting low on them. I do have every color though, and in every size. So it's a bait I haven't really lost. I think I've lost 1, maybe 2 over the years of throwing it, just getting stuck on something down, a log or something in deeper water. But that's the chrome white in the half and the 3/4. Fire Tiger, another really good color. I believe, yeah, here I've got 2 Fire Tigers here. It's a color I like a lot. So I've got a couple of them in the half ounce, and I believe I got it in the 3/4. Yep. So there's the 3/4 ounce in the Fire Tiger. Obviously, I haven't thrown that one yet. Doesn't have a swivel on it. These guys both have swivels, so I've probably thrown both of them. So the blade on this one's a little different, but this is a great color, as you can imagine. You've got that tinsel, you've got that chartreuse skirt, hair skirt, you've got your bait, but that Fire Tiger body with that green, that chartreuse, and that orange really looks cool in the water. And this is a gold blade. Sometimes the gold blade is better. I'll usually try both the gold and the silver and see if they have a preference. You can see I've got the swivel on there, and just see what they prefer. Sometimes it seems like the gold blade's a little more productive. Sometimes it seems like the silver blade. It's really up to you, depending on, if it's a cloudy day, is it a sunny day? It's just like kind of like throwing a blade bait. Sometimes they really like the chrome, sometimes they like the gold. But there you go. There's the Fire Tiger in a ½ ounce. And I've got another one there in the ½ ounce size. And they both have swivels on them, so they're ready to be fished. All right, so that's the Fire Tiger. The next one is the that fluorescent, or I'm sorry, Flash Chartreuse. What's this one? That's not it. All right, let's see. Flash Chartreuse. All right, there's a Flash Chartreuse in a ½ ounce. Do I have it? I thought I had them in all sizes, so let me double check. Yeah, I thought so. Flash Chartreuse. So this is a nice color here. Which one is this? This is the half? Yeah, this is the half. So here's the half. Really good smallmouth color. The Flash Chartreuse has that, like that. It's like a reflective blade. It's got some chartreuse in it, some silver in it. So it's kind of like a combo. It's got that chartreuse and silverish body, the chartreuse skirt, and that mylar, hair there, or added to the skirt. That flashaboo, whatever they call it. It seems like that hook is a little messed up there. Let's see. Like that O-ring is a little crooked there. Yep, I got it now. So that one definitely needs a swivel on it. So that's the ½ ounce in that size, or in that color. Here is the 3/4, which, I guess I haven't thrown these ones yet. I don't see swivels on them, so I must not have thrown this one yet. So here's that same one. You can even see that green more on there, on that blade. So big blade, silvery chartreuse, a bigger body. There's the two, the ½ ounce. There's the ½ ounce and the 3/4. Really good color. I gotta add some swivels to these guys. Ouch. And that hook is sharp. I don't know what kind of hook they use, but it's sharp. It's sharp. So let's see, ½ ounce. Let me sure I don't put these in the wrong bag. I'll put them back now so I don't wind up getting a hook in my hand. And I just cut out the color on that tab there and leave them in these bags. Don't have to worry about them getting rusty because they can get rusty, the hooks. So that's Chartreuse Flash. Good one. Good smallmouth color. All right, move these over here. All right, next one. Showed you the Flash Chartreuse Black, Chrome White, Fire Tiger Flash Chartreuse. Fluorescent Chartreuse with the painted blade. That's one I really like a lot. I've probably thrown that one more than any of them. As you can see, there it is in the 3/4. That is just a smally killer. I think I have another 3/4. No, that looks like the other one. I thought I had a 3/4 out, but I guess I don't. But there it is, that fluorescent chartreuse with a painted blade tail, or a painted blade tail. Yeah. How about I show you the bait? Here's the ½ ounce. I think the one I lost might have actually been one of these. That's why I don't have any swivels on these yet. But for smallmouth bass, really murky water, it's really hard to beat that chartreuse blade. Now, you will get some toothy critters that also enjoy this. So if you don't mind catching some pike or some big pickerel, have fun with these, because you will definitely catch both. So you do have to deal with them. That might be, I may have lost one of these chartreuse ones. I think last spring, I think I might have lost one of these chartreuse ones to a toothy critter on the river. But I really like that chartreuse blade. So that one is, they call that one fluorescent chartreuse with a painted blade. So if that one interests you, there's the ½ ounce. Here's the 3/4 that I haven't taken out of the box yet. But if I know I'm going to smally waters, this one will be probably the one I'll tie on first. So that's fluorescent chartreuse with a painted blade. Alrighty. Glitter chartreuse, that's the one I thought it was before, but it's not. This is the glitter chartreuse in the 3/4. And this one has been used a lot. I can tell because that blade is really, that blade is a little banged up. This is the glitter chartreuse in the ½ ounce. Yeah, these are the ones I was throwing with the chartreuse ones. I thought I was throwing the one with the painted blade. Those are the ones with the gold blade. So here it is, glitter chartreuse. So here's glitter chartreuse. You can see it's got the swivel on there. That's the ½ ounce. It's got that mylar skirt to go along with the hair. The blade, so you can see that blade is a gold blade. You can see that's this one. I've thrown the 3/4 more, so you can see how that blade is more beat up. It's a little more beat up than the ½ ouncer, but really a good color. Yeah, like this is because the mylar is kind of like sticking to it, so you know it must have been wet when I put it away. Oh, it'll come off when you get it wet again. But that's a great one right there. That glitter chartreuse with that gold blade, 3/4 and ½ ounce. Good option. And the last two are the white, which is pretty much works everywhere. Done very well with just plain white. And I think this one, I'm not sure. Now that I look at them, hold on. Chrome white. This is not, I have this mismarked. Oh, no, I don't. I meant to show you this one earlier. This is chrome white in the 3/4 ounce. If I don't remember if I showed you this one because it was still mixed in here. Maybe I screwed up. But there is chrome, ouch, with the white thing. I think I showed it to you, but maybe I just didn't. So there it is there. It might have just got mixed in. Right now I wanted to show you the white one. So let me dig it out. Here's white in the ½ ounce. I don't drop it again. So this one I have definitely thrown. It's got a swivel on it. So the white has like actually white on the body here, and then that gray silverish on the side with the silver blade. It's got the white skirt, the mylar on there. That silver flashy mylar in the skirt. Definitely ready to fish. White ½ ounce. That's what the white looks. The other ones, I guess I haven't thrown the 3/4 ones. This is a chrome white one, which I know I showed already. So here's the white in the 3/8 or 3/8, 3/4. I'll make it 3/8. So there's the big size, the 3/4 ounce. So you guys can tell the difference there. If you want that bigger size, which is good, and this is a really good color. Caught a lot on just the plain old white. There really isn't a bad one in the list. If you just get one chartreuse and one white one, you're good to go. The black one can catch them too, and this last one, they're all good. There's only 8. So you can, try the colors you like and see how they go. But this last one they call this yellow coach dog. Now, where they got that name from, I have no idea. 3/4, ½ I have another ½ here in the box. So I have both in the bags. I've probably thrown these. See if they have swivels on them. Ouch. When those trebles go through that bag and you try to pull it out, it doesn't feel good. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this out of here without tearing this bag. Time for a new bag. Yeah. Just be careful when the hook goes through the bag. You don't get it in your hand because these are sharp trebles. So here is the yellow coach dog, which is a good color too. Gold blade. I've got a swivel on that one. It's kind of like a, I don't know if it's kind of like a black white with a red mylar flash skirt on there. I think it's black and white. I wanted to say it was kind of a brownish tinge to it, but the more I look at it, I think it's just a white and black. And then you've got your big hook on there. So there's the yellow coach dog, which is, yellow with that, that black markings on there. Excuse me. Get a drink. So there's that yellow coach dog right there in the ½ ounce. And if I can get it out of the bag without harpooning myself, I'll show you the 3/4. I must not have thrown the 3/4 yet because it's not have a swivel on it. But if you want that bigger size, there you go. So you can see that's a big piece of lead there. So you can chuck these a mile. cover lots of water. I don't really work these. I don't really throw these towards the bank and come out. I'm not really trying to target, shallow water with this, because this guy here will get hung up on rock and on wood. So really what I do is I parallel banks when I throw this. I may sit out in, 10 to 20 and just kind of parallel the banks as I'm going up and throwing it and bringing it back to the boat. I may angle it towards the shoreline a little bit, but I'm not like aim like a spinnerbait. I may try to throw that almost to the very bank itself and work it back and hit all those rocks and things. The spinnerbait doesn't get hung up really. This will get hung up. So especially a 3/4 ounce, if you chuck it towards the bank, unless you're fishing banks that are big drop off banks, then you're probably okay. But those kind of banks are really good to get out there and parallel them and cover that deeper water where those fish might be suspended on that area. But I kind of parallel the shorelines when I'm fishing these. If I'm going to work a point, I'll pull way out and cast towards it. So when this lands, it's going to still be in pretty deep water, maybe at least 5 to 10 feet. So I'm not, getting stuck all over the place with that big treble. So, it's really a great, I think, underrated style of fishing. And, it's something we probably all did as kids, or, trout fishing or whatever, back in the day. But, they Rooster Tail came out with this Joe Thomas one a few years back that is, kind of souped up and made more for bass fishing. And if you've ever seen his show, Reel in the Outdoors, there's a lot of episodes with him up on St. Clair and other places catching some really awesome smallmouth, throwing this bait around. So it's really, I've done, when I first saw it advertised and said, I got to try that. And it does work well. I even sometimes forget about it, how effective it can be and forget to bring it with me. In the springtime and in the fall. But, just kind of starting to now that I can, I've had a few days off of fishing, I can kind of, concentrate on what I really want to bring out with me next time I go out. And I was like, oh man, I just saw these on the shelf or on the rack the other day and said, oh, I got to start bringing a few of those in the boat because this thing works great. So that's it, guys. You've got your 8 colors: the black, the chartreuse, or I'm sorry, the black, the chrome white, the fire tiger, the flash chartreuse, the fluorescent chartreuse with the paint. That one has the painted chartreuse blade. The glitter chartreuse. All those chartreuse ones are great, especially for smallmouth. The white, yellow coach dog. They'll all catch both species. I've caught largemouth, but I would say it's probably more of like it's probably more like a 75%, smallmouth bait for me personally, and then a 25% largemouth. And every now and then a largie will bite it, but I'm actually more surprised when it's a largie, when I'm throwing it, because the smallies just seem to really go for it. But that's it, guys. So that's the Joe Thomas Pro Series Rooster Tail Yakima baits. You can find them on Tackle Warehouse. I'll put a link to it there. I haven't seen them anywhere else. I think they're $9 or something like that. And you can get the half ounce, or you can get 3/4. And it's really something that can really, when nothing else is working, this can be the one. This can be the one. And these chartreuse ones in the water, the smallies will hammer them. They will hammer them. And if you like your toothy critters, you catch some of them too. But that's it, guys. So any questions, let me know. Definitely remember to add a swivel of some type to the end so that you're not getting all that line twist. You want something that's going to turn so the bait can just do its thing and your line's not getting twisted up. Because the first time I throw these, I did not use a swivel and I was regretting it afterwards. And definitely add one. It'll make your life better. If you don't care about line twists, but line twist on a bait caster can be a real pain. It can be a real pain. Our lines get twisted enough just fishing normally. Throwing one of these things, oh boy. But definitely add one of those before what I do is a couple of those there that didn't have them. If I know I'm going to go out and I want to fish them, I'm going to put those on. I'll take them out of the bag, put them on, have them ready to go, so I can fish with them right away. I don't want to do it on the boat, but definitely add that swivel. Definitely add that swivel, and I'll throw it on anywhere from 12. You can even throw it to 12 to 20 pound fluoro. I kind of stay in that 14. 14 is kind of like the size I use. I think that's plenty. You can get away with 12. You could go higher if you want. It depends on, if you're fishing for monster bass, where I live, I don't think I'm going to catch a 10-pounder. You know, if you're fishing somewhere where there's 10-pounders, maybe you might want to up your poundage on your line a little bit. But you know, for my normal northeastern smallies, I think that, you know, 14-pound is pretty good. I can get away with 12. A lot of times I'm throwing like I think I've got 12 on my spinning or my spinnerbait setup. Usually I'll cut my spinnerbait off and throw this on. The spinnerbait bite's been so good lately. I'm gonna get another. I'll have that set up and another setup with these, so I don't have to switch off because I want to be able to throw both, not have to retie every time. But medium heavy rod, at least I would go at least a 7-footer. I prefer a 7.3 or something like that. Really, it's up to you. But, you know, decent size line, 12, 14, 15-pound fluoro. If you want to go higher, you can. I don't know if it's necessary. If you're northern pike fishing, steel leader might not be a bad idea. You know, 20-pound, you know, braid to a steel leader might not be bad if you want to go catch some northern pike on these. You know, if you guys have any of you guys have thrown this or have experience with it and like to add any tips to the comments, please do. But if you haven't tried them, check them out. They definitely work great. They definitely work great. And they're not terribly expensive. I haven't lost a lot of them, a couple here and there, getting stuck on the bottom. And I do believe that, just talking about it, I do seem to remember a toothy critter deciding he didn't want to get in the boat. So they can be an issue, those the big pike, when they see one of these going through the water. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I encourage you to check out all my videos I just put out on Pete Stillman & Son Lures. He's having a big holiday sale, 20% off until January 1st. If you guys are interested in these, I'm sure Tackle Warehouse, I know, is doing a sale now. I didn't see these on sale, but I'm sure as the end of the season approaches, there'll be other sales. You can get these and save yourself some money. It's a good bait. It's a good bait, and I think it's kind of under the radar, underutilized bait for smallmouth and largemouth bass fishing. All right, so thanks for watching, guys. Please like and share the video. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon on YouTube. Mark out.